Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Didintle Mohale and this is Conversations Unleashed. Today I am totally excited for this video. I'm trying something totally new and I hope that you will all enjoy it. Now without wasting any more time, let me show you what this something new is. And here's the surprise.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm not sitting alone today. You can tell that I have someone right next to me. I would like to introduce Miss Didintle Mohale. How are you doing?
Hey, Lita.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, and you. So, thank you for having me here today, first of all. I am, as she said, Didintle Mohale, and I go by Didi the Twin on Instagram. Yes. So, yeah, I'm excited for the conversation that we're going to have today.
Today, yes.
But hey, today, as it said, Conversations Unleashed. So that's what we're about to do. Unleash a few, conversations. Exactly.
Yeah. Alright, so obviously I sent you the topic. I sent you the topic of this video.
Yeah.
So would you like to tell the audience what we're talking about today?
Okay. So today we are going to, I think it's a very, should I say controversial? I would say a lot of us do go through this, so it's just the topic is about letting go of control, basically. Yeah. So
Okay, so as she said, the topic of today's video is letting go of control. Now, to set the basis for both of us and to kind of warm the video, I would like to find out from you, what does the concept of letting go of control mean to you?
Okay. First of all, can we face each other a little bit,
sure.
just a tad bit?
No problem.
So we're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. The concept of letting go of control. There's quite a few things that do come to mind, but I would say the first thing that pops up is to completely surrender. Because I think as human beings, as individuals, that's what we struggle to do. We want to take control of everything. We want things to go our way and not necessarily God's way. So why I would say surrender is because obviously that is one of the tasks we are told to do in the Bible, and it's something of importance because it tells us that there is someone taking control of our lives, and we need not forget that. And I think we tend to do that as well. So it's just a reminder of, listen, once you surrender, God has everything under control. You don't need to stress nor worry about what's going to happen tomorrow because it's all planned out, and we struggle to remember that. So yeah, I would say surrender. Literally.
I really like that. Well, my idea is very similar to yours. When I thought about the concept of letting go, the first thing that popped up was this quote. I don't know if you know it. The quote, let go and let God.
Yes, I know it.
You should, definitely. But that was the quote that popped up for me because it's very similarly to you, not the Christian walk, but more of the believer walk. There's always that reminder, that constant reminder that allow God to take control of your life. Why? Because He knows what's at the end. So allow Him to lead you. So I agree with you. It's definitely let go and let God and surrender. Right. So that's the concept of letting go for us. Okay, so the next question I have for us is, how have you dealt with situations you can't control in the past?
Okay. I somewhat struggled with, or still do, with control, because I am very much a planner as well, and I like things to go my way. So there's pros and cons to that, because obviously organizational skills come with that, but then it's also remembering, as I said, who's in control as well. So in the past, I think it's sort of bad also, but I've learned to take a step back, like just more so observe and realize. I also think it dims my light in some way or another.
You
as
controlling?
Well. Me taking a step back per se. Okay. So it's like how basically it's like I've been given a leadership position, or per se maybe I haven't, and there's opportunities for me to actually like pitch in, but now I've embedded in my mind to just take a step back. It's not my time yet. And I think there's pros and cons to that, because it's like sometimes I feel like I should have said something, but I've decided no, let me rather not. But then that's when you get to also listen. I'm basing it on faith because I'm Christian. That's when you get to also listen to the Holy Spirit, and you know, okay, which is the right time as well. And I think God has tested me in many ways. Like when it comes to my studies, it's like I had this plan. I'm going to be done in like 3 years, and then it's that, and then I'm going to start working, and that hasn't happened. So with that, I've had to I was like, I had to ask myself, like, God, like, why? Like, what is happening? I wanted this. I wanted this, and it was like I had to exactly. I had to come to terms with this is all I wanted, but what about God? And it also made me realize, like, with surrendering, a lot of things started to make sense also. A lot of things started to align in my life. So, yeah, basically. I don't know if I answered the question, but I know I went on a whole
So,
rant.
If I'm to just put it into points, it's more of, it's still a work in progress, but so far how you've dealt with it is by allowing yourself to step back. Okay. Step back and let God. Yes. Okay. So don't keep coming back to that one. Okay. For me, how I've dealt with situations that I can't control in the past. The thing with me is, as I observe now and I observe my life, I've noticed that I've always been put in positions where I have to be a leader. I've always, from a very young age, I've always been put in leadership positions. And what that has done subconsciously, if I'm to put it like that, it's always put me in a position where I think that I always have to control. And it's almost like I have to have order. I have to. And it's not that kind of control of I have to control people, but it's that thing of, obviously, if you put in a leadership, exactly, if you put in that position, you are trusted with the responsibility of making sure that whatever has been placed in your hands can go accordingly. So it's always been that thing of, it's in me. It's in me that you need to, have that kind of control. But over time, as I grew, and especially in high school, what I noticed is every single person is developing themselves, and there is no right person. So you can never control a situation, because everyone is making their own decisions in that situation. So initially I couldn't deal with it properly, because it was almost, even talking about it, I can feel my shoulders getting tense, but it was always... You have a massage? But it was always that thing of, how do I let it go when it's something that I'm so used to? And I think, like you, it's still a work in progress, but what I'm doing now is I'm kind of like transferring the energy into different things. So instead of trying to control the situation fully, or trying to make sure that everything is running accordingly, like you, I try to step back and allow other people to step in. And if I feel like there might be something that I can say that might gel in everything that everyone has said, that's when I'm like, okay, it's not my, it's my time to direct. Call it being a director, not a controller, So that's... I did not. Did I answer the question?
You did. I think, well, somewhat.
Right. And then I think I want to give you some leeway as well to ask questions if you have some, or say whatever you need to say. So I'm gonna head into the last question from my side. Okay. So when was the hardest time? When was it the hardest for you to let go of control?
I wouldn't specifically say a date, but there was a time where I was going through something very difficult, and my immediate response to that is to sort my life out, basically, is to make sure I'm doing everything else right, so all that's happening in my mind is shifted away, basically. And I think that was me trying to control this, and that's crazy. Trying to control my mind, and I think with that, like, it was working. Like, the beginning stages, like, I was moving, I was on fire, and there was a time where I just literally I crashed, and I realized, like, with that, I realized that what you think also is genuinely, it's not something you can just completely throw away. It's completely disregard as well. And I think that's what I tried to do. So everything that was at the back of my mind came forward as well.
Moved from the deep wind to the shallow.
Yeah. So I genuinely just crashed, and I didn't know what to do. And I think that's when my faith got stronger too, because that's when I realized that I couldn't do this alone as well. And I mentioned surrender. Trust is also another big thing. Trust is very important. So with that, it was a traumatic experience for me. Maybe we'll share it another day. But that was the worst time, in my life. But we did get through it. And I think why I would base it in with letting go of control is that when I decided to just realize that God had my back, that I didn't have to worry about all the things that were happening, that's when I realized that, okay, no, you know what, like, I've got this. It's okay. I'm a light bearer, and during those times it was difficult to actually spread my light, because I knew within me there was some sort of darkness that was trying to prevail. So it's like when I looked at God, when I spoke to God, he showed me that no, in that darkness there is that light. And that's how I was able to just let go and just let God literally. And like, sure, I honestly have to say that I couldn't have done it on my own. And also God sent people in my life as well, like helpers in my life, and that's what I'm grateful for too. But yeah.
And if I may actually take what you say and go and see it in a very different way, because I was going to speak about not necessarily an event when it comes to when I wasn't going to speak about an event, but I was going to speak about a period in time, a long period in time. And when I think about when was it hard for me to let go of control, I think about the process of healing. And because you speak about it, it kind of works with Charles. So I was going to speak about, well, I am speaking about it, but I thought about the process of healing and how much it's so important to let go of control when it comes to healing. A lot of the times, most of the times, it's almost like, especially when you're not used to not being okay, it's almost a default reaction to want to control how fast you heal. Sometimes it's not even controlling how fast you heal, but it's also controlling how you heal. And in letting go of that need to determine, sometimes you go through something and you're like, I don't know, especially when you think a lot, you go through a specific event or a specific situation, and you think, oh no, there are other people going through worse. Other people are going through worse. So come on, get yourself together. Come on, man. Come on, let's do this. And in that process, you forget that you are a different person, and your physical, not your physical being, your soul, your spirit, your emotional being, your mental being reacts very differently to the same situation that somebody else has been through. So in that, personally for me, I know, for me, I always had to, at some point, I had to remind myself that, listen, it's okay to still be crying about something that hurt you a few years ago. It's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're weak. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're using it as an excuse to hold on to the past. It doesn't mean anything bad. Allow yourself to heal. Because a lot of the times when I was younger, what I used to do is suppress. I used to suppress because I used to believe that I have to be okay. I have to be okay because I want to, like you, I wouldn't call myself a light bearer, that's you. But for me, my name is Lutabo. So I always carried that name with me, not consciously, but it's that thing of you naturally exude a specific type of emotion, and for me it was always joy. So because that was what it was, I always felt the need to continue exuding that same emotion. And what that does to you is, I don't want to lie, it kind of makes you less human because you don't allow yourself to have bad days.
True.
Bad days doesn't mean spilling your issues
Mm-hmm.
on other people. It doesn't mean being unkind, but it means allowing yourself to say, hey, if somebody says, hey, are you okay? I'm not okay. I'm not going to be my bubbly self. I'm not going to be overt about my joy, but I am going to smile. I am going to be polite, but I'm not okay. You know?
Yeah.
So
it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
And like with that, you'd see that, you know, those quotes is like check on your friends, because you know the ones that are the happiest are the ones going through it. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's the case with us all the time, but just that quote, I always look at myself, but I'm like, I'm always bubbly, but I'm not going through it. But there are people that I have been in that situation where I overly,
we use it to kind of hide.
Exactly, to hide everything. And with that, I was just thinking of, obviously, let's think about the healing process. When you get hurt, let's say you're riding your bike, you fall off, you get a scrape on your knee. Tomorrow, it's not gonna look like,
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. You're first gonna go through the stages of it bleeding as well, and then only you're gonna get dead skin, and the dead skin still has to peel off too, and then only does the healing process start, and then you start to use your products as well, and that's obviously with us, that would be God as well, helping us through that healing process, and then only and there's always gonna be a scar. There's always gonna be a reminder of what you went through, but I think we can always look at it and realize, you know what, I fell, but I got back up.
Exactly.
I got back up. So that's
yeah.
do
you have anything that you'd like for us to talk about in this topic?
You know what I thought of, right? So we want to go bungee jumping, so and girl, where's the control in that? Like, just think of the free falling and just letting go of your body, letting just a little tiny rope prop you down. And I'm just like, that scenario just sort of, I'm like, that's basically what we're doing. And if we apply it into our actual life, like, it feels like we're just falling, but then we realize,
I actually like that analogy. Actually, something just go boom, because when you think of bungee jumping, you are falling, but there's a string holding you up. So when you say it like that, it's actually like the string is God. You are falling, but he's constantly holding you up.
Even though you don't feel it.
Even though you don't feel it, he's constantly
holding you. But I can't think of anything at the moment. But.
Okay, so I think we can wrap up now. I think we've shared enough on the topic.
That was good.
It was good. First time.
It also made me think a bit. I was like, okay, what haven't I dealt with yet? But hey,
it's good. Conversations should always bring about some form of war and stuff. Okay, so I wanted to just wrap it up with 3 things. What are 3 things you can officially say so far you've accepted that you cannot control?
Okay. Number 1 is what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, tomorrow is, as much as we plan it all out, tomorrow is uncertain too. And I mean, also life is uncertain. Life is uncertain. So with that reminder, just, love on the people closest to you, because as I was saying, you don't know what's going to happen, and you have no control over that too.
Every minute is a blessing.
Exactly. Another thing would be, I don't have control over my sleep pattern. I have control over my sleep pattern, like in terms of habitual patterns, but I don't have control over how long I sleep.
Oh, you mean like that?
Why I mentioned that is because I always want a certain amount of hours of sleep, and I make it depict my day. Like, if I have a watch, and it also, have you been to that?
I'm responding to you because I agree.
It also, it calculates how much hours of sleep I get. And even so, sometimes I will wake up completely fine. Say I've gotten 4 hours, I wake up completely fine. And then I check my hours of sleep. suddenly I feel tired. I'm like, oh, no.
No.
Don't expose. Yeah, so I think that too, and also my surroundings, the people I'm around as well. This is number 3, sorry. I would say I can't control the people I'm around, my surroundings as well, and yeah, that comes with learning to adapt to, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say those are the 3.
Those are the 3.
Yeah.
The 3 for me are, the first one is you cannot control people.
100%.
You cannot control people. You cannot control how people respond to what you do for them, and you cannot control what people do for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mine. That's my first time. You cannot control people. The second one is you cannot control time.
Yeah.
You can control what you do
mm-hmm,
with that time, but you cannot control it. And it's very much similar to you cannot control the future.
Yeah.
So because you cannot control time and you cannot control what happens within your time, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be you leaving the earth. Sometimes it's, as she said, we are dancers. Sometimes it's you don't know what can happen, and then God forbid it's not going to happen. No, we're not. But it so happens that you now cannot. You get paralyzed and you can't dance anymore.
Yeah.
You cannot control time. You will not control how long you dance. You cannot control how long you do things, you know?
Yeah. Can I add
no problem
to that? Like that's for me. I wake up every morning and I'm like, live life to the fullest now. Enjoy, make use of your passions as well now, because what's to come is uncertain. Very true. It doesn't then mean you're pessimistic or what, or
you're constantly on edge.
On edge. It's just, it's being prepared. Even in the Bible, God tells you to be prepared for the day that He comes as well. So we always need to make sure we're prepared for anything, be it for the good or for the bad. Being prepared.
Very true. Yeah, very true. Very true. Thank you. And the last one, I just need to think about this one. Oh, just to add on to the first one of you can't control people. Just to add on, because it kind of goes in. You also cannot control what people think of you.
Yes.
You cannot control what people think of you. You can try to be the nicest person, the most... you can try to be the most proper person according to what your definition of proper is, but you cannot control what people think of you.
Yeah.
And the sooner you learn that, the sooner you can live your life more easily and with freedom.
Yeah.
So the last one, for me, that was just adding on to the one of you can't let go of people, but the last one is... Do I even have a last one? Yeah, I think the ones I've mentioned can be spread out so much. They're so vast. Yeah. So I don't know. I think the last one would be you can't control what God decides to do with your life. Yeah.
Period, point blank. Yeah.
And we've come to the end of our video, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. I would like to thank Ms. Didi the twin for joining me. Thank you for spending your time with me.
Of course. It's always a pleasure sharing, and we can learn from this as well as those that are watching. So we're here to exchange too. So it's great that we could do that. I had fun too. So please, can I feature in more? Like, oh my gosh, please.
I don't know about that. I'm joking. I'm joking. Of course, it'd be always lovely to have a conversation. Conversations unleashed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. I think we've come to the end of our video. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please do not forget to hit the follow button, but we do not have those on YouTube.
No.
But please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you, guys.
As well as comment, yo.
Oh yeah,
know what you think.
Comment. Let us know what you think. Bye, guys.
Bye.